lives in Camden. Weruche has degrees in law, journalism, and human rights from Pontiac University and Columbia. She is an author and human rights advocate. She currently serves on the Irish Board of Directors and as a community editorial board member of the Connecticut Mirror. Weruche George.
My name is Weruche George. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Zini, and everyone for inviting me. I'm going to talk about Juneteenth. Today we recognize it as a wonderful day. Juneteenth, what I celebrate today. More than 12 million Africans were brought to America on slave ships, with the first recorded ship carrying Africans to Virginia. The year was 1619. Juneteenth has been an important day, but sadly, many Americans were not taught its significance in African American history. Juneteenth marks the day when enslaved Texans found out they had been free for 2 years. It wasn't on that day that the enslaved were free, contrary to what some know about this day in history. It marks a day that was hardly spoken about for a very, very long time in America. I was scrolling through my Facebook memories, trying to pinpoint the exact time I learned about Juneteenth. I had been living in America since 2005. In 2007, my asylum was granted by an immigration judge, and the wonderful Iris helped resettle my 2 kids and I. I would later advance my education while working and raising my 2 children. But I never heard about Juneteenth in any of my classes. And I promise I took a lot of classes. The fact that as a Black woman living in America, I had not learned much about the impact of slavery because we did not study Black history in Africa, in our schools back home. It's very sad. In the same way, African studies are only beginning this fall 2022 to be taught here at the high school level, thanks to Governor Lamont, who passed the Public Act. Not telling our stories fully causes our real identity to be shrouded in secrecy. This divide has kept us apart from learning about experiences that matter. As the years progressed, I will honor World Refugee Day on June 20th each year, marking a separate worthy celebration. World Refugee Day honors the strength and courage of refugees, people who have left their home countries for various reasons and have sought solace in a new place. Amongst the joy refugees and immigrants bring to their new countries are culture, food, fashion, language, and their unique experiences and perspectives on life that they so beautifully weave into the American culture. For many years, I would visit Mamoon's falafel store in Hazen to buy shawarma and hummus made from chickpea. I miss eating this back home. I used to eat that back home. I would also visit African hair salons and food stores on Dixwell Avenue to keep my culture alive. That's what I celebrated each year. The strength that multiculturalism brings to America, thanks to immigrants, and the desire to preserve our unique identities. That's what I celebrated. It wasn't until the year 2018 that I first heard the term Juneteenth from a post on Facebook. I would later celebrate my son's citizenship on the same day in 2019. From then on, Juneteenth was born in my world. It is important to tell stories. It is important to bridge gaps that have existed for centuries through storytelling. African Americans have long hoped for this day when the atrocious acts of slavery will be recognized. It's been a plea that this acknowledgement happens. Our shared identity as humans first was suspended without this acknowledgement of the pain that history bears. But today I celebrate this new story. Last year, President Biden formally made this a reality by making it a national holiday. This is the beginning of better things to come. Slavery remains a dark history, and by not acknowledging it, we strengthen injustice, inequality, and the ills of society. I'll read a few words I found online. These are words that were spoken by slaves who experienced the dark past. It's important we honor them. And this is by Fountain Hughes, age 101. He was born in Baltimore, Maryland. He says, "If I had any idea that I'd ever be a slave again, I'd take a gun and just end it all right there. Because you're nothing but a dog. You're not a thing but a dog." Another quote by James Green, who's 98 years old. I was born in Pittsburgh, Virginia. And he says, "Then one day along comes a Friday, and that an unlucky star day, and I playing round the house, and Master Williams comes up and says, 'Deli, will you allow him walk down the street with me?' My mommy said, 'All right, Jim, you be a good boy.' And that's the last time I ever heard her speak or ever see her. We walked down where the houses grows close together, and pretty soon comes to the slave market. I ain't seen it before, but when Master William says, 'Get up on the block,' I got a funny feeling, and I know what has happened." And Delisha Patterson, age 92, Brooksville, Missouri, she says, "I think the time will soon be when people won't be looked on as regards to whether you are black or white, but all on the same equality. I may not live to see the day, but it's on the way. Men working together to alleviate injustices against various groups. Our hopes and visions for a better tomorrow. Our collective efforts to improve the world today, for not just ourselves, but future generations. Be they Africans, African Americans, refugees, immigrants, Asians, white Americans, Muslims, Christians, LGBT people. Today I celebrate the connection to freedom that Juneteenth and World Refugee Day embody. That we can set aside differences and work together for the good of all. That we will commit to taking steps forward to right the wrongs and rise above the dark past. That's what I celebrate today. Thank you.